teamwork, speed, or maybe some secret superpowers that you hold? We are eager to know.
So it represents resilience, agility, and perseverance as the Ninja Turtles animations represent. So we try to connect with them.
Thank you, Team Ninja Turtles. You can continue.
And moreover, for we both of us, this name is actually working well over the past. So it's a bit lucky name for us. So we have continued that name.
All the best.
Hello jury members, we are Team Ninja Turtles and Rajat. So today we are going to start with a solution for XY Corporation. Now starting with it, the Indian energy landscape is transforming rapidly. Clients who were asking for, who were dependent on diesel gensets are now asking for cleaner, greener and a more digital first approach kind of solution. And the point for XY becomes that how do they do not become indispensable in this whole gambit and provide solutions for that. Now to start with it, for the executive summary we bring you that there is a 411 gigawatt battery storage needed by 2032, Indian government estimates. According to the market landscape, we analyze almost 6 high potential areas by mapping the energy value chain. We did competitive benchmarking with Tata, Adani's of the world, etc. And then bring to you hybrid on-site power systems and DESs. However, we don't want to generalize solutions or put out that moving out with moving out with service rather than product, as we do not want to tamper with the DNA of the organization. Hence, to understand the core DNA of XY Corp, we started from the scratch. To understand what the entirety in the value chain for what XY Corp stands for. We divided this entire value chain for XY Corp in 4 dimensions, where we do not have any visible option, where XY has a strong presence, what are the emerging areas and which have a larger potential opportunities in future. Now starting with generation and transmission, there are sourcing and conversion and battery flywheels kind of systems where there are no visible viable options. However, gas and diesel gensets which are there for XY Corp and microgrid controllers. So we had strong presence. And as we move forward in this value chain, we see during end use consumption, digital data layers and customer service layer, there can be a strong viable presence basis the long-term service contracts, IoT sensing and energy cost management. Hence, moving ahead in this, we believe that going on the field is the best thing to learn and bring out solution. So the video that you see is from a plant in Mihinpurwa, Uttar Pradesh by Tata Power. They have set up a solar grid, batteries. So this village from independence did not have any electricity. And just 2 years back, they have through this system have got electricity at their home. So yeah. So the plant has a metering system from where it gets all the electricity generated through solar panels, and then through sub-metering it goes to the homes, and then it becomes a viable option by charging the unit rate. And then we started with the secondary basis, what is the renewable positioning as of now in the country, what the competitors are doing, and exactly how can we move front of meter. So now when the context is set, I like Vikas to take.
Now about solving the customer reliability crisis and like thinking about the market demand for BES and hybrid solution. As of now, Adani Group just announced BES project which will be like having power capacity of 1125 megawatt and energy capacity of 30 megawatt hour. So this is evident in itself. The market is shifting. The demand is there. If you talk about the frequent outages and consumer sentiments, in Noida itself, 86% of the households daily power outages and 36% face more than 2 hours of outages. And if you talk about industrial and commercial impacts, Reliance is also working on this, and the fact that they have gensets is not enough in order to have an advantage when it comes to performing well. And also, if you talk about the reports indicate that diesel gensets market in India accounts for like 55% of the market. So the demand is there, and it kind of accompanies the BESS landscape. And the desire for cleaner and reliable customer stable power. The firms are moving towards cleaner energy, and the emissions they want to decrease through the diesel equipment they have. And if we talk about the manufacturers also, whether it be Tata Power, Exide, or Luminous, or SUCAP, there is a shift towards expansion in this BES segment. Tata just commissioned 100 megawatt PV BES project, and SUCAP also announced a memorandum of understanding and plans to expand in this area. Now, moving forward, if we talk about the competitive stance, right, comparing the incumbents like Tata Power, Adani, they hold their strength in capital access. Okay. And there are different factors, and when it comes to the startups, let's say CleanMax or Amplus Solar, the strength is in the flexibility and innovation part. Now here comes the XY Corp, which lies in this sweet spot of having the access to the capital along with the flexibility to transition in this new area. And this gives the XY Corp a competitive advantage. Along with the service reach and reliability, and the dimension we have mentioned, energy as a service, all this and the nationwide predictive models that we are quoting, the reach in itself and along with these strengths, it gives XY Corp a competitive advantage. Now, moving on, the thing is, how do we prioritize and how did we came to this hybrid system and BES as core growth pillars? So we benchmark along different factors, whether like fit with XY capabilities or the market potential and the capital needs and time to impact. And we found that hybrid on-site power system along with the BES are the most impactful in terms of creating a best fit with XY capabilities. And why these hybrid on-site power system? The thing is, it provides a perfect bridge between the XY's legacy, be it genset, or the renewable future. And the thing is, India's CNI customer base also face reliability issues, which can be majorly solved through this combination of hybrid on-site systems along with the BES storage. And when it comes to battery storage and energy storage system, essentially it complements the hybrid solution. And if you talk about the landscape, with 12.5 gigawatt of BES tenders that are already open, only almost 200 megawatt are all installed. The gap is massive. Moving on. Now consolidating and double clicking on the selected solutions and understanding the market potential. The diesel genset market is over $2 billion and only 70 gigawatts of installed base is there. And hybrid systems cut diesel cost by 40 to 60% and emission by 1/3. And falling battery cost provides a environment to grow. And if you talk about the battery energy storage systems, 236 gigawatt of BES is needed as per the report by Central Energy Authority. And if the cost of the project will drop as projected. And India's battery storage market is growing, and if we see by 2030, the CAGR might be reach 40%. The thing is, in hybrid on-site systems, it combines existing genset with the control system expertise of XY Corp and the low capex. Using the existing factories and suppliers, and other resources, XY Corp can leverage this. And the service leverage, XY field technicians already are trained in the existing capabilities, will require low upscaling. So the cost will be saved there. And strategic fit for XY Corp in terms of BES, the synergy of hybrid system. BES as an add-on, or it can work as a standalone backup for the CI customers, and leveraging the competitive division also, integrating kits and partnership collaboration with battery OEMs and software firms for rapid scaling.
Now, since we have understood what are the two solutions and why this play a big picture for XYZ Corp, we need to understand in terms of what is the business model that would be able to create out of it. This slide presents about the business model innovation in terms of, we will have three layers to it. It's the modular hybrid EPC system installation that we have. The second is the digital EMS, and the third is the hybrid power as a service in the future. So as far as first is concerned, it's the genset solar and the storage. We will have a turnkey installation, the end-to-end installation for the client. Second is about the monitoring and the forecasting that we will create, and third hybrid is it's the pay per kilowatt that you will be having, considering it's a high revenue and operational maintenance. There are multiple advantages to it. It's a multi-year maintenance that we could, that from where we can generate the revenue, and we will have improved efficiency and all. But how we will implement in terms of hybrid module manufacturing first, then comes the EPC deployment, digital EMS integration, and the hybrid as a systems as a whole. The thing that was asked in the case is how these three different systems, three different verticals that we have currently, has to integrate with this new solution. So as far as PGT is concerned, it has to move from the equipment manufacturer to then integrated system provider. Here we built to develop the hybrid power packages for our client, and we have also devised a couple of products at how we can build the system in terms of hybrid edge or quick connect. As far as component and software division is concerned, here we build the energy management system, ESS, and we offer the predictive maintenance and the remote services here. Basis this whatever the data that we generate out of this, we will actually build the other systems around same. And the third, support service and support service SSD. Here one of the major solution is that we will have power assurance plans. We understood about the reliability as one of the major factor in this, because there are the outages and all. We will have a revenue generation for the power assurance plan. Like doing an assurance of certain time, we will able to get some revenue out of it. It's also understand how does the go-to-market look like for us. Our key players or the key customer target will include the CNI clients, having the high diesel consumption. It would be data centers, pharma, and textiles. Second is the multi-site enterprises and all. But a major customer would be the industrial states having a large installation, large capacity requirement, and the important here is to understand the go-to-market. So here what we are rational is to have the partnership-led model. Why partnership-led model? Because many companies around in the ecosystem have the learning curve of building the batteries, building the solar energies. So it's not something our strength lies into the distribution, the network that we have, but they have a better learning curve in terms of their battery making and all. Even for the EMS development, we would like to collaborate with the companies who are working on this. One of the examples is the Hitachi Energy. We would leverage their EMS software developers instead of building capability from scratch. It will take some time to get into the market also. And we have a phase-wise implementation, so we don't have a concrete timeline to hit a 5-year plan or something, but we have devised how this will flow in the picture. Next up, we have the financials and how does this reap the benefits. In terms of that, here we have considered three approaches: conservative, baseline, aggressive. And through our analysis, we could able to find that if we are considering hybrid as a system, we would have a payback in around 3 years per se, and for BSS it would be around 4 years. Next. And we have built a predictive dashboard that would be also given. You can scan this QR, and have a view to it. So this brings end to our presentation. We are open for Q&A now.
Thank you, Team Ninja Turtles. Jury, you can ask the questions now.
Yeah. So at the end, as you were talking about the return on investments and also tied to how the market entry is going to be, which classified that the preference is probably to go after hospitals, data centers, and pharma. These return on investments, are they consistent across these segments? Because one, XY as an entity is going to be new. Will they have the ability to command the premiums that the existing players are going to have? So where's the confidence coming from to manage this kind of ROI with the level of changes that XY has to manage?
Okay, so sir, as far as the command is concerned, we definitely have a good hold in the market, but considering this would be a completely new business for us, definitely we could leverage our connections in that terms. And here what plays important is how we actually understand the customer's requirement and build the solutions according to it. And that's where we also tell that our go-to-market is a partnership-led model. Okay, we would like to collaborate with for example, if you are going with a battery as a service for a specific client, which is an industry input, we would collaborate with Excite or something who have done it for a longer time. And using their strength and our capabilities in terms of GenSat and into predictive maintenance, we would go with that approach is for the initial stages.
While on the face of it, I like the element of you saying let's partner with other players. The question that's there is, how does the partnership, because many of those players are still looking at their own space and saying, oh, I can do the integration and I can enter into this space. So many of the partners, they themselves are the competitors. So how do you balance that piece?
A very fair question. We also thought of this coming into the picture. And that's where we need to understand the client's requirement, what they are expecting out of us, where are our capabilities or the strength lies in, and partnership model can vary in terms of either we can directly buy from the battery systems and install there, or we could have a collaborative project there. So we need to figure out basis how our partnerships or the tie-ups are looking at from the suppliers or from the options.
So just building on this, definitely every company, like we have said in batteries also, they have an option to vertically integrate, horizontally integrate, backward, forward, everything. But the thing is that do they have the capability or do they have the motivation or the DNA to change and move across the value chain? Whereas XY Corp has that and has displayed previously also with the genset diesel engines, etc. So I think that is where the confidence is coming from in XY that we can do this, but definitely with some support, with some collaboration, because we are providing business to them, and I think those companies are happy getting that kind of numbers and business from us. Yes.
And so to begin with, what would be the value proposition to the end customer? So yes, we'll partner with somebody. What's in it for the end customer?
So sir, basically for the end customer is when we are providing these kind of hybrid systems on site, the thing is that they get like every time they do get the energy which they need, whether for the electricity needs. So putting in renewable energy, solar, PV, etc. They have us every time, not depending on the diesel gensets only. So like there is a if you think there is a gold mine or some mine in a remote location where temperatures reach more than 50 degrees, 55 degrees, gensets might fail. And that is where the solar PV etc. comes into play and the BESS system comes into play. And that is what the VP or the value proposition for the consumer is.
And second thing, like in terms of, this is one of the reliability is one of the factor which Sachin spoke. Another is the sustainability. So scope 1, scope 2 carbon emissions are one of the very important element, and that's where company can show that our power generation which is coming is from the solar power that is there. So,
I get that. So the question I had was, every organization has a purchasing guy that takes a call of whether I take a bundled solution or I go individually piece by piece. At what is the threshold at which we think that the purchasing guy goes back and says, because the bundled solution comes with its own sense of premium, so what's the level of premium will the purchasing guy pay for the bundled solution?
So sir, we do not have a threshold in monetarily sense as of now that when a customer pulls out of that bundled solution. But definitely what we have seen from across the industry also, like Microsoft, etc., when they bring up an ecosystem. And we all know that how easy it is to work in an ecosystem which is 360-degree integrated. So that is why we think that a client or a customer would want to work within an ecosystem because they definitely understand that what they are paying for. And definitely we can work on that number, that at what point basis a survey which we can run across our clients, that at what time or what point in time for money wise would you want to pull the plug. So yes.
Okay, thank you. I'll ask a question on the landscape that you indicated around the Tata Power, Adani, and then startup on one side, and then you said the very earlier side. XY Corporation is very well positioned because of their current ability and agility. If I may challenge the same position and say, instead of well positioned, can this also be a risk? Because we are actually in the middle of the people who have very high level of agility, and on the other side, people who have very big mighty power. What makes you feel XY Corporation will find its way to maneuver through these two ends?
So sir, basically, definitely, and I totally concur on this, concur on this point of yours, that there is a chance of we being sandwiched between these two, the incumbent and the startups. But however, us being positioned XY Corporate, a very sweet spot is that they have that client base as of now, which is required, and it is, as we said, it is about the DNA of the company that we are putting our bets on. And the DNA that we have understood from the case study, etc., is that they can move very quickly, they have the pockets to invest, and hence make a change in this environment. So I think that is where we are putting our bets on.
And the fact that XY Corp has nationwide network and processed products, whether we standalone BAs or a hybrid system, is a premium that customer needs to pay. And here comes the trust factor. Like, new incumbent might be trying to enter a new market, the startups might be the flexible one. But when it comes to high ticket or premium products, and when there's a strength of customer network across, so that is the leverage that XY Corp will benefit from.
Thank you. Last question from my side. On the financials that you had, the three models that were defined: conservative, baseline, and aggressive. What is the element of differentiation between the three?
So, element of difference is in terms of our capacity installation that we have. In a very conservative approach, we won't go very aggressive there. And second is the acquisition that we'll have in terms of the client also. The requirement that we are getting, the size of the client that we are getting, this is that we have considered 3 of them.
So just building on that, definitely the client acquisition sector, plus the expectation of the industry CAGR. So everyone is expecting that this will boost up, this will ramp up, but what if it doesn't? What if maybe 5 years down the line we have some other technology and we are moving out of this? So the conservative, baseline, aggressive are basis all these 3 factors that we have encountered, that we have thought of.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, judges. Thank you, Team Ninja Turtles, for your answers.